The political battle that is currently underway in Hyderabad. It's a high-stake local election that is taking place in Hyderabad. The Union Home Minister Amit Shah has just landed in Hyderabad and is going to begin his campaign trail from the Bhagyalakshmi temple, which is right next to the symbolic Char Minar. So is that a clear message that is being sent out with the temple visit? They are calling it the beginning of end of the KCR rule. Political battle lines clearly drawn out for the Hyderabad civic elections. The BJP top guns have been campaigning in a high-octane battle. While we'll of course continue to track the live updates of Home Minister Amit Shah's campaign in the Hyderabad Civic Body elections, my colleague Uma Sudhir sent us this report a short while ago.
That is the 429-year-old monument Charminar that is iconic and symbolic of Hyderabad, and abutting the monument is the Bhagyalakshmi temple. That has in many senses become the symbolism for the BJP's campaign fight in Hyderabad. The BJP state president Mr. Bandi Sanjay in fact said that his victory rally after the announcement of results of the municipal elections will start from here, because he has made it in many senses the main kind of a narrative of the BJP campaign by saying that the TRS and the MIM consider this as part of another country or territory. He raised this question saying that is Bhagyalakshmi temple in Pakistan that I am being asked why I have chosen this. This is also part of my country and therefore I am doing it. Of course, today with the Amit Shah visit and his puja here and followed by a road show, it's the cutouts of Mr. Amit Shah which are all over the place, plus of course his deputy in the Home Ministry, Mr. Kishan Reddy, as well as the state BJP chief, Mr. Bandi Sanjay, who is in many senses leading this campaign for the state from the front. The security deployment, of course, quite heavy at this point in time, because the Union Home Minister is visiting a very sensitive part of the city, and his first stop, in fact, in Hyderabad is at this temple, where he will be offering prayers, after which he goes on the road show. Tejasvi Surya, who is the Bengaluru MP and also the BJYM president, had in fact called Mr. MIM as Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi of the MIM as modern avatar or the new avatar of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And that in a sense has sparked off this entire debate. He also said that a vote for the MIM would be a vote against the country. And that's certainly very, very controversial. And the police, in fact, has said that they are examining the speeches of the young MP from Bengaluru to see if that is going to be considered as an inflammatory speech, and sections of the law can be invoked in that particular case.
All right, so those of course are the live images that we are getting to you from Hyderabad at the moment, where Home Minister Amit Shah has landed. He's, remember, going to be campaigning in these very high-octane Hyderabad civic elections, and just look at the crowds that have gathered there to welcome the Home Minister. He's, remember, going to be beginning his campaign trail from the Bhagyalakshmi temple right next to the iconic Charminar there in Hyderabad. Let's go across now. We have PKD Nambiar, political analyst whose views lean towards the BJP, joining us. We also have Krishank Mane. He's a social media convener of the TRS. Thank you both very much for joining me. Mr. Mane, I want to begin by asking you your first reaction to those visuals that we're putting out on our screens. It's a local civic body election. If we didn't put out that disclaimer, who would have thought it's a local election, given the fact that you've seen the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister today, or seeing the Home Minister? The BJP has declared war on you.
Yes, exactly, Rishika ji. I mean, just a municipal election, TRS, the gully party with gully issues. We have our own issues. Hyderabad's issues, our priority is Hyderabad and Hyderabad's development, infrastructure, investment and integrity. These three are the priorities which we are going in an election. But the entire narrative has changed, Rishika ji, today. I mean, people from across the nation, from the Bharatiya Janata Party, are coming here in Hyderabad. And what is the debate? Yeah, I mean, today the Honorable Home Minister is coming to the Hyderabad. We only have a question, single question for him. Just last month, Hyderabad has seen a devastating floods which we haven't faced in 100 years. But till date, be it from the Pradhan Mantri National Relief Fund or from the NDRF or the recently released Home Ministry released 4,381 crores central additional assistance to 6 states in which Telangana hasn't figured out. Today, people of Hyderabad are asking that why not one single rupee? You're coming here. You're most welcome. You can come and do your election politics. But then at the same time, what have you done for Hyderabad? One single rupee for the Hyderabad flood relief is what we are asking.
So you're saying while of course, let me get in PKD Nambiar to respond to that as well. PKD Nambiar, the reason why this story is so very interesting is because it's very rare that you see central ministers, chief ministers, Union Home Minister himself. There was at one point even talk of the possibility of the Prime Minister going and campaigning in a local body election. Now, as far as the BJP is concerned, they want to make inroads into the south, and I think they've made that plan abundantly clear. But how do you respond to the fact that, here's a party that's paratrooping leaders from elsewhere in the country, which is disconnected with local issues? Do you agree with that chart that the TRS is leveling, that the BJP is completely disconnected with the reality and ground issues?
Rishika, as far as the BJP is concerned, what we see is that BJP looks at every election as a serious activity in the politics. For an example, from Panchayat to Parliament, it takes every election as a very, very serious celebration of democracy in every possible way. I think we must credit the central leadership of the party to give such kind of an importance to even to a municipal election. That gives so much of vibrancy to this very democracy of India. I think that is what we need to talk about. And having said that, the other panelist, he was worrying equally and also welcoming the BJP leadership. I will tell you why this so much of panic if they are given a very good governance to the people of Hyderabad in the last so many years. Why should they be worried about it? They will easily win. If they are worried about if the central leadership of the party is coming, whether it is Amit Shah, JP Nadda ji, or for that matter Yogi Adityanath, it is primarily because they are very, very worried.
But it's an interesting campaign for a civic body election, don't you think? I mean, renaming of Hyderabad, the invoking of Jinnah, it's been interesting because local issues haven't really been a part of the BJP's core strategy, or at least that's what one would, understand from the campaign narrative. Whether it's very interesting that you say, whether people accept it or not is something that we will know once the election results are out. But very quickly, Krishank Mane, respond to this. What's the problem? I mean, if the BJP takes its electioneering very seriously and if they've deployed their top leadership, that's on them.
Absolutely. I mean, that is why I've said we welcome them to come and do their politics. This is not the first time. In 2018, the same list of Yogi ji, Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, all of them came, and what was their result? Only one assembly they won. So they're most welcome. Okay. But they call it, just now they used a term called celebration of democracy. Okay. Rishika ji, it's an insult. No, please. This is not those shouting channels. This is a very good debating channel. So let's debate. So the point is, you called it celebration of democracy. What celebration of democracy? Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister leaves his farmers protesting on the road on the borders there of Delhi, and the police is lathi charging them. And instead of having any kind of sensitiveness and responsibility, you are coming here for a municipal election. You call it celebration of democracy.
Okay. This is an important point. And I have to, before we move on, we have our reporters standing by who are actually covering those farmer protests, and I'm going to go live across to them in a moment. But PKD Nambiar, I think this is an important question, and one that many are asking, that, you're seeing crowds, whether it was at Yogi Adityanath's rally yesterday, whether it is crowds that have gathered to greet the Home Minister today. And no COVID restrictions seem to apply here, but you're stopping farmers at the borders because COVID restrictions seem to selectively apply. So, that's something that's made a lot of people question whether this is an issue of convenience.
I would say that this is definitely a matter of concern. With all the sincerity, I must say that every word, whether it is in the Bihar or in any elsewhere in the country, wherever these political activities are happening, people are not completely adhering to the COVID protocol, I must say, and irrespective of any political party. Having said that, I wanted to ask this the other panelists. Tell me, is Hyderabad is not in India? Why can't we go and practice the political system which exists in this country to go and contest elections at most sincerity?
Well, you can and you are. Well, you can and you are, and I don't think that's even a question. But it's been very interesting actually to see the campaign narrative of the BJP, and it'll be interesting to see how the people of Hyderabad have actually responded to it. I'm afraid I'm completely out of time. I'm afraid I'm completely out of time. But it's a conversation we'll continue to have.
Let them change Ahmedabad's name.
For kind of response,
you know, once again, just this conversation right here between a BJP supporter and a representative of the TRS will tell you just how keenly contested this civic body election is. Thank you both very much.
The BJP leadership is getting in Hyderabad itself is the showcasing of why this KCR and the party.
Okay. Thank you both very much.